I'll be honest with you. At 79 years old, I have watched my body change in ways that nobody, and I mean nobody, prepared me for. And the truth about love, real love, the kind that involves skin and breath and another person lying next to you in the dark, well, that truth is something most people are too embarrassed to say out loud. But I ain't most people. Not anymore. My name is Lorraine Mackey. I've been married twice, widowed once, divorced once, and I have loved, Lord, I have loved, in ways that would make a young woman blush and an old woman nod real slow. I raised 4 children in a little house outside of Decatur, Georgia. I buried a husband at 61. Started over at 63 with a man I met at a church potluck, if you can believe that. And I'm still here, still breathing, still wanting to be touched. Now that right there, that last part, that's what nobody talks about. They talk about cholesterol numbers. They talk about hip replacements and memory pills and blood pressure. But nobody sits you down and says, Lorraine, your body is still going to want things. Your heart is still going to ache for closeness. And the world is going to act like that part of you died somewhere around 65. Well, it didn't. And if you stay with me, I'm going to tell you what I've learned about love and the body at this age. The real stuff, not the greeting card version. Some of it might surprise you. Some of it might make you uncomfortable. But every bit of it is true. Let's start with the thing that took me the longest to understand. Your body is not the enemy. I spent years, child, but being angry at my body, angry at the skin loosening around my arms, angry at joints that cracked every single morning like a bowl of cereal, angry that my waistline disappeared somewhere around 1992 and never once came back. I looked in the mirror and didn't see the woman my first husband fell in love with. I saw something, fading, and that feeling made me pull away from touch, from closeness, from even wanting to be seen. But here's what I figured out, and I wish somebody had told me sooner. The body you have at 79 is not broken. It's translated. It speaks a different language now. Where it used to shout, it whispers. Where it used to run, it walks slow and deliberate. And love, physical love, emotional love, all of it, has to learn that new language too. My second husband, Gerald, said something early on that just about saved me. He said, Lorraine, I don't need you to look like you did in 1968. I need you to be here, right here. That's it. And the first time he said it, I cried. Not because it was sad, because I believed him. Now. Intimacy doesn't disappear with age. It transforms. And most people never make that shift because they're measuring everything against what it was at 30. Listen, at 30, love is fire. It's urgent and hungry and sometimes a little reckless. And that's beautiful. I'm not taking anything away from that. But at 79, love is something else entirely. It's the way Gerald reaches over in the middle of the night just to make sure I'm still there. It's the way he holds my hand on the walk to the mailbox. Not because it's romantic, but because the sidewalk is uneven and he knows my balance ain't what it used to be. That's intimacy. That is love speaking through a body that learned to protect instead of perform. There's a study, I think from some university up north, that said older adults who maintain physical affection, and not just what you might be thinking, but holding hands, sitting close, being in each other's space, they had lower cortisol levels. Now cortisol, the way I understand it, is the stress chemical your body makes when it believes something is wrong. When nobody touches you for weeks or months, your body starts to think something is very wrong indeed. Floods you with that stuff. And over time, honey, it wears you down like water on soft stone. So when Gerald puts his hand on my back while I'm cooking, he ain't just being sweet. He's keeping me alive. And I am not exaggerating. Now here's where I need you to lean in, because this is what nobody wants to say out loud. Loneliness in old age is not just sadness. It is a physical danger. I lost my first husband, Walter, in 2005. Heart attack. Quick. No warning. And for 2 years after that, I didn't let anybody truly touch me. Not a real hug, not a hand on my shoulder, nothing. I told myself I was being strong, independent, handling it. But my body was falling apart. My blood pressure climbed up. I couldn't sleep. Started getting sick every other month. Colds, infections, things I never used to catch. My doctor ran every test in the book and finally said, "Lorraine, you're declining, and I don't have a pill for what I think is really wrong." He looked at me real gentle and said, "When's the last time someone held you?" Child, I about fell out of that chair. He wasn't being fresh. He was being honest. The human body needs contact, skin to skin. It releases oxytocin, which is something like the body's own medicine for loneliness. Babies who don't get held, they fail to thrive. Doctors have known that for decades. Well, old people who don't get held fail to thrive too. We just do it quieter, behind closed doors where nobody can see. Lord. Now, this one is for the women especially. Stop apologizing for your body. I mean it. Stop saying sorry for the belly, the scars, the veins, the skin that doesn't snap back anymore. I spent years apologizing with my body language, covering up, turning away, dimming the lights, not for mood, but for hiding. And one evening, Gerald looked at me and said, "Who told you you're supposed to be sorry for surviving?" That sentence rewired something deep in my brain. Every line on this body is a record of something real. This scar, that's from the cesarean that brought my youngest into the world. These hands look the way they look because they've made 10,000 meals, wiped 10,000 tears, and held people through the worst nights of their lives. This body carried life, buried love in the red Georgia clay, danced at weddings, and knelt at funerals. That is not something to apologize for. It is something to stand in, fully. And here's what I noticed. When you stop apologizing for your body, people stop seeing what you were so afraid of. They just see you. And that, honey, is when love actually gets good. Now, the last thing, and this one sits closest to my heart. Love at this age is not about forever. It's about right now. When you're young, you say forever, and you mean it with everything you got, and God bless you for that. But at 79, I know what forever actually looks like. I've seen it end. I held a man's hand as he left this world, and there was nothing romantic about it. It was terrible and sacred and final. So when Gerald and I sit on the porch in the evening and the light goes gold and soft through the magnolia trees, and he says something silly just to hear me laugh, I'm not thinking about forever. I'm thinking about this moment, this breath, this man right here who smells like coffee and wood shavings and who still looks at me like I'm the most interesting person in the room. That's the truth about love and the body at 79. It's not less. It's not diminished. It's distilled. All the noise burns away, and what's left is so pure it'll make you cry if you're paying attention. I ain't no doctor. I ain't no therapist. I'm just a woman who's been loved and who lost love and who found it again when she wasn't looking. And what I know is this: your body's going to change on you. It already has. But love doesn't need a perfect body. It needs a present one, a willing one that shows up, even when it's stiff, even when it's tired, even when the mirror is not being kind. You show up anyway. You reach across that bed anyway. You say the tender thing anyway. Because at 79, you know something the young ones haven't figured out yet. Time is not a promise. It's a gift you unwrap one morning at a time. So unwrap it, sugar, with both hands. This is Lorraine. And I'm real glad you stayed.